Coming to paperback and e-readers, E-Steam Cancel Vacation. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a social justice social media mob looking to cancel her in this all-new E-Steam series adventure. Pre-order E-Steam Cancel Vacation on Amazon.com today. Actress Halle Berry is back in the news, and she's taking a break from taking bikini photos on Instagram to reflect on her career in an article on thesource.com, where she talks about her 2002 Oscar win for Monsters Ball, where she played Letitia Musgrove, and says that she thought that Hollywood was going to drop offers at her house. Now, your Halle Berry made the same critical mistake many Oscar-winning actors and actresses make, believing that an Oscar will go out here and inflate the value of a said actress. Now, as somebody who has studied the entertainment industry for over 25 years, I know that an Oscar does not go out here and inflate the value of an actress. No, an Oscar is a statue that is a part of a popularity contest and has no real value whatsoever. But your Halle Berry believed that after she got that historic Oscar win, being the first black actress to win an Oscar for Best Actress, that this would lead to her being able to increase her value and be able to get more high-quality roles. Unfortunately, what happened to Halle Berry is the same thing that happens to many Oscar-winning actresses. They don't really focus on trying to develop a career. They just go out here and take whatever's offered to them as related to what the films that are available. And there are not many films available for black actresses because screenwriters out here really don't write a lot of material for black actresses. Now, many screenwriters don't write material for black actresses because it is next to impossible to sell a screenplay featuring a black female lead. And they don't want to go out here and spend 6 to 9 months working on developing a pitch, developing a treatment, and developing the screenplay in order to just try to get something done. No, most screenwriters don't want to just write screenplays that they're doing it just for the sake of it. They want to go out here and sell that screenplay and get that 3 to 5% of the production budget. So many screenwriters, they don't want to write films with black female leads because they can't make 6 figures on the deal. So that's one of the things that impeded Halle Berry's career. And your Halle Berry, because she didn't really understand how the business worked, she didn't understand that she was really not going to be able to get the offers that white actresses were able to get because there are very slim pickings for black actresses. And that was shown with many of the films Halle made after she won the Oscar, because after she won the Oscar, she then starred in the thriller Gothika, she starred in the James Bond film Die Another Day, and she starred in the Warner Brothers Catwoman. Now, all 3 of these films, Halle Berry was paid very well for. She was paid $10 million, I believe, for Gothika, $10 million for Die Another Day, and $15 million for Catwoman. But when you break down the money after the agent gets their 10% and the managers take their 10% off the top, and taxes, there's not much money left there. So your Halle Berry, yes, she made money in the short term, but those films were either critically panned, or in the case of the Catwoman, it was just a certified flop. And after Catwoman flopped, your Halle Berry wound up starring in Oprah's Their Eyes Were Watching God and a series of other films that really did not appeal to Halle Berry's strengths. Now, Halle Berry's strengths as an actress are being the cute girl next door, and that was the thing that she should have focused on. And she should have gone out here and found a small independent screenwriter and got somebody to play to her strengths. But your Halle Berry instead wanted to go out here and try to play whatever Hollywood leftovers had in order to try to show some acting range. Unfortunately, many of those films failed to answer a critical question every screenwriter has to answer, and that question is, why should we care? And it was hard to care about Halle Berry's performances in films after Their Eyes Were Watching God, because she played roles in films that nobody really cared about, such as Cloud Atlas, such as Dark Tide, and such as many other projects that she did, like the sci-fi television series. Many of these characters were characters we didn't care about, and films like Things We Lost in the Fire, this was a project, again, that many people didn't care about. And even worse, your Halle Berry turned away from her core audience of black viewers to try to appeal to white viewers. And that was one of the things that led to Halle Berry having box office problems, because Halle Berry's core audience was black viewers, especially heterosexual black men, who thought she was the girl next door and thought she was the girl that they could go out here and date and marry. And Halle Berry walking away from the girl next door image she built up in the 90s into the 2000s to go out here and play these gritty type roles and these roles of different types of characters. This wound up alienating many of those black viewers out there, and those black viewers really didn't like the role she was playing, and they did not like the character she was portraying, and they didn't like all of the films she was doing, which primarily had white male leads, like Perfect Stranger, and those films were the reason why many people started to sour on Halle Berry, and your Halle Berry started to wane in popularity. Now, your Halle Berry thought that this would be able to expand her audience, but without the core black audience, she had no real support. And without that core black audience to carry her, your Halle Berry's career started to decline. And as she started to decline, she continued to play these kind of roles that really did not appeal to the black audience, such as your Dark Tide and other films. And these films, again, they did not really appeal to the black audience, and this made her box office shrink even further because, again, Halle did not really answer the critical question as related to reading these screenplays, why should we care? And she did not really think about why the audience should care, and that's why most people were not really interested in watching Halle Berry films after a certain point, because they sat there and they tolerated many Halle Berry films, but the black audience did not see themselves getting any reward for their supporting Halle Berry. And that's why she's sitting here now complaining, oh, I thought roles were going to be dropped at my house, but she didn't really understand how the Hollywood business really worked, and she didn't really understand that in order to have a long-term career, you need good management that understands your strengths, and you have to start taking roles that really play to your strengths. Now, your Halle Berry tried to play roles that were to her weakness, and this was to her detriment because her core audience of black male viewers, they wanted to see that cute girl next door. They wanted to see that girl they could date, and they didn't get to see that. And even worse, in her public life, we started to see her not only being with the white boys on screen, we started to see her being with the white boys like Gabriel Aubrey in real life. And this is one of the things that led to many black viewers, especially heterosexual black men, turning away from Halle Berry and not having any interest in her because she walked away from her core base of viewers, and that core base of viewers then, feeling betrayed, wound up walking away from her. So your Halle Berry, she's now regretting that she wound up losing the opportunity after the Oscar, and she's coming back again complaining about how she wasn't going to be able to get all of these roles and these opportunities, but the roles and opportunities were not with white Hollywood. No, the roles and opportunities were with independent black screenwriters and independent black filmmakers, and you would have to go out here and finance these types of projects yourself. Now, this is what every black filmmaker and black actor has done. Denzel Washington did it with The Great Debaters. He also did it with Antoine Fisher. He understood that opportunities were not going to be made by mainstream Hollywood, and he would have to go out here and create those opportunities himself. Now, your Halle Berry is trying to do the exact same thing with her upcoming movie Bruise that she directed, but the big mistake Halle Berry made here was not going out here and creating a character who was appealing to the viewer. After seeing clips of Bruised, she's playing this faded MMA fighter who is disgraced, but it again does not answer the critical question, why should we care? And in today's entertainment business, you have to answer the critical question, why should we care, if you want to go out here and gain the audience out here. And that's the big problem with Halle Berry's overall career, is she does not play roles that make the viewer care. Yes, she's a very attractive woman, even in her mid-50s, but the whole problem is she has never played a role since the late 90s with Dorothy Dandridge that makes you go out here and say, I really like Halle Berry's portrayal of this character, and this is a character I like. This is a character I want to spend time with. This is a character I want to be friends with. This is a character I want, in the case of black men, to date. This is what the audience wants, but the audience never got it with Halle Berry, and that's why the audience walked away from Halle Berry. And she's sitting here complaining about Hollywood, but Hollywood was never going to give Halle Berry an opportunity to be taken to another level, because Hollywood has a place for the black actress, and it is below even the black man, because they don't want the black female elevated to the high position of the white female. And your Hollywood will not ever give a black actress any sort of role that is going to take them to the same level as the white actress. Yes, they will give someone like Halle Berry a symbolic Oscar to symbolize their so-called diversity passively, but aggressively, many in the industry will work towards keeping great black actresses like Halle Berry was back in the day. She's not as good as she used to because she's been extremely uninspired as of late, but they will keep black actresses from having those roles because they want those roles for white actresses. And what they will do, if a black screenwriter like myself writes a really good script, is they will buy that script and from me for a price, and then what they will do is take said script and then hire one of their screenwriters and have them rewrite that script to fit a white actress. So that's why it's important for a black actress to go out here and go find a black screenwriter and go let them write a story that is tailored to their strengths and allow them to show their acting range. That's why it's important to find an independent black screenwriter and finance your own film, because your Hollywood is never going to tell a story about black women or feature black actresses in a positive light. This is something I went into detail about in my screenplay, All About Marilyn, and it was something that I tried to break down for everyone in that script about how Hollywood sees black actresses. And sadly, your Halle Berry has never learned that tough lesson because she doesn't really know what's going on behind the scenes. The racism that goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood is that they are never going to drop quality roles in a black woman's lap, because usually they're going to give you the leftovers that the white females don't want. And once the white females throw those roles in the trash, those screenplays, they then try, in an effort to try to get a green light, go find a black actress and give her the scraps from the table. But you don't have to get scraps from the table. If you go out here and find a black screenwriter, if you find a black screenwriter with a great concept, then you can get the best parts of the table. You can get fresh portions for yourself, and you can get the first fruits as related to creativity. Unfortunately, Halle Berry was so caught up in trying to gain white acceptance, she didn't want to embrace all of the black people behind the scenes who would have tried to help her and would have possibly taken her to the next level. She didn't want to go out here and embrace those black people, and that's why she's on Instagram these days, going out here seeking attention from thirsty black guys, because she went out here seeking white acceptance, and those white people, now that they know that they can't make any money off Halle Berry, have now tossed her to the wayside, and now she's out here whining and complaining, similar to what Alfonso Ribeiro is doing right now, complaining that nobody is really interested in her. But the whole thing was, black people were interested back in the day, and when they saw her sell out, that's when they decided to walk away. And now she's desperate, making these articles where she continues to seek the same attention from the black audience on black platforms like The Source, and showing us that if she had just stayed with the black community, she might have been in a better place overall. I mean, when I look at Halle Berry, her biggest mistake was not understanding that the entertainment industry is meant to elevate white men and white women, and that if you want to go out here and have a career after you win an Oscar, you have to go out here and support the black people who are out here trying to make quality projects, and those black creators, they can go out here and help you out. That's what she didn't understand, and after she got this Oscar, she thought she was going to become mainstream, but the white supremacist Hollywood system, the media arm of white supremacy, they were never going to allow her to come up to the level of their white actresses, and she didn't really understand things, and she didn't have a black person who was self-aware to teach her on things, and this is why your Halle Berry is now desperate, looking for attention from black people, the same black people she turned her back on back in 2002. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to pick up my screenplay all about Marilyn and learn about the struggles of black actresses in Hollywood, you can find that script on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Given to temptation, pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today.